that humidity now, and it just there's this like thickness. There's like a weight when you walk outside. You're like, whew. Like yeah, so the let's let the heart cut through, everyone. And I want to welcome everybody to our class, and welcome back our sangha that's always here. Thank you for coming. Thank you for practicing. My goodness, we are in the depths of a revolutionary time, and I can't imagine a more important, relevant, and healing practice that you could be doing, not only on Tuesday nights, but every day. I feel like every moment, but that is the metta practice. And the benefits of doing this practice are tremendous. Not only do we rest in the heart, we learn how to be in our body, how to soften, and how to be kind and friendly to ourselves. So remember that this practice is really about befriending our own heart. First, we start with ourselves, then the collective, right? It's like one scoop in, two scoops out. Not two scoops out, one scoop in, which is what a lot of us, how most of us have lived our lives. But this is really about taking the time and being with your heart, being with your body, being with this beautiful practice, and also being in community. So, first and foremost, we want to give our thanks to our beautiful Baba Diva, who makes all good things happen in the world. I always feel like you should go like this, Baba. And we are live in Atlanta. And so why don't you put where you are coming in from in the chat? I always love to do our shout outs as people are logging in. And let's see where folks are calling in from, where are you at today? So we have some folks in Berkeley. We have Laguna Beach. Oh, yes, Drew. And Connecticut, Sacramento, Santa Rosa. We were just talking about Las Vegas. Look at that. We're using it as a metaphor for. And then Oakland, Martinez, and then Hawaii. Yelenia, thank you. You're here with us. And then we have Denver, El Cerrito, Chucky. Look, we have somebody from Mississippi. Ah, hello, Mississippi. Love these southern folks down here. Sedona and Canada and Philly, Missouri, and Grass Valley. Well, welcome everybody. I feel like we do our roll call. You sort of bring in not only your own spirit, but also the place where you are, right? We're doing this work that is about ourselves, but it radiates out from the collective. Yes, hi, Dr. Love from Marin County. And we just welcome all of you. So I want to say a couple of things about the practice, and then we're going to get started. So I hope you're ready. You have a place that you can really, really feel comfortable, because we will be diving in. Time to work on the heart chakra. Work on the heart muscle here. But I want to just mention a couple of things again. I know I say this every week, but it's important to remember the instruction of the metta. The metta practice was given by the Buddha as an antidote to fear. And this practice is an excellent antidote to not only fear and anxiety, but also anger and self-hatred, that tendency that we have to attack ourselves, to demean ourselves. It's almost like we don't even realize we're doing it. It's the background music in the room for a lot of us. And it's really important that as we learn the metta and we do the metta, we're disrupting that. We're giving a new program. We're giving a new mantra for the mind, right? A new way of being. And so we're practicing, but know that the spirit of metta is it can extend to every moment. Okay, so this is a a practice that is a purification practice. So sometimes it can be hard. What could come up is anger at times, sadness, and the sense of being completely cut off and numb. That's a very pervasive one. So as you're doing it, remember the most important thing is to just to focus on your intention. You are inclining your mind toward friendliness toward yourself. Okay, so it's like right now I'm just offering myself love over and over, friendliness, kindness, and let the purification be what it needs to be. Also, these three things may come up: anger, sadness, or just this sense of being numb. But the core of the practice is the visualization. Okay, so imagining yourself. I think that's what, for a lot of us, gives it power, is to see yourself in front of you. Hold yourself in your awareness. Use your imagination, just like you can visualize what you had for breakfast today. You just visualize yourself. And as you visualize yourself, and you can do it at any age, right? You can see yourself as young, you can see yourself as a baby, or you can see yourself as, this moment, this present moment. But it's to see yourself, and then we offer the phrases of the metta practice over and over. And so Bava put them in the chat window. So the first one is, may I be happy and peaceful. And as you look at yourself, it's almost like you're offering this to yourself. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. You can say your name. That's the way to connect. You can also put your hand on your heart, or take your right hand and hold your left hand, right? This is a way we're directing this friendliness to ourselves, right? And I'll tell you what, most of us are desperate for our own love and kindness, right? We're almost like we're on a desert with no water. And the metta is likened, or the example of metta is like the rain, right? A gentle rain that falls. And so the second phrase we say is, may I be safe and protected, right? So you say this, may I be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong in this body. So imagine you're sending this almost like the sun, this golden light. With metta, I always imagine this golden colored light because it's always used in examples of the sun, right? That metta is unconditionally like the sun rays and the power of the sun, right? So may I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong. And the last one is, may I live with ease and joy and well-being. Okay, and we just say these over and over as you hold the image of yourself. The mind's going to wander a million places in the past and the future, but come back again and again to your heart, and try to keep some of your awareness in your body. And I'll remind you constantly by asking you to relax, okay? Because sometimes the body starts getting very tight and we want to keep softening. The metta is like the rain on hard soil. It softens it, right? And it softens it, and then the water can go in, the moisture can go in. So we'll keep working with our body. So, okay, everybody, let's go ahead and get started, and we'll sit for about 30 minutes. So I'll do some guiding of the practice, but there'll also be times where you'll be encouraged to just keep the recitation of the phrases going. Visualize yourself. Even as a small child, that can be powerful. I did metta for years, imagining my 3-year-old self, and it was so connective and helpful. So it doesn't matter what the image is, just focusing on you in this moment, okay? So we're going to start with just a gentle metta body scan. And a body scan is where we just start to bring our full awareness into the body by moving our awareness through the body. So for the moment, begin to soften your head and your face. And imagine your spirit is just coming down straight through the crown chakra. We want to put our awareness into the body, feeling our bodies, feeling our hearts. So softening in the shoulders, and maybe if you need to move your neck and your shoulders around, make some adjustments now to just soften any weight that you feel that you're carrying or whatever the body is holding. Let it all go with an inhale and then an exhale. And as you do that, just dropping your awareness deeper into the body. Feel your arms and your hands now. Let your hands be soft. And as you breathe in and out, you might want to breathe in peace on the inhale and peace on the exhale, just to begin to signal to your body that a practice is starting. Your presence is here. And bring your awareness to the heart center and just take a breath. Imagine your heart, you're just breathing straight through the heart center. Breathe in peace on the inhale and peace on the exhale. And see if you can keep your back upright, almost as if your heart is being elevated. It's being pulled upward toward the sun, toward the sky. And now bring your awareness deep into your belly. Underneath your belly button is the place they call the hara. So breathe into the deepest part of your belly. And as you breathe in and out, let your whole belly soften and expand. Let your belly completely settle, unclenched. Breathing in peace on the inhale and peace on the exhale. And then feeling your sitting bones making contact with the chair or the cushion or wherever you're sitting. Feel your sitting bones and see if you can let go and let your sitting bones carry you. So softening the whole upper part of the body and finding that stability, trusting that stability. And then feeling your legs now, feel your upper legs and become aware of your knees. And then feeling your arms. Oh, not your arms, your ankles. Feel your ankles and your feet. You can feel your arms too, but feeling your ankles and just sweeping your awareness now down into your feet. Feel the tops of your feet and the bottom of your feet. And then from the top of the head to the bottom of the feet, just breathing in on the inhale, peace, and on the exhale. And as your body becomes softened and relaxed, we'll start to bring up the visualization and the phrases. So just start by seeing yourself, and you're seeing yourself through the eyes of Kuan Yin, through Ma Tara, the Buddhas of compassion, the Great Mother. And so as you behold this image of yourself, just softening into it. As you pick up the phrases, we begin to offer them. May I be happy and peaceful. Or you can say the phrase, may you be happy and peaceful. Say it in whichever way feels most supportive and connective for you. May I be safe and protected. Really seeing yourself with each phrase. Take your time. May I be healthy and strong in this body. And may I live with ease and joy and well-being. And as you practice, keep softening the shoulders, the back, the belly, and keep the phrases going one after the other like a waterfall. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong in this body. And may I live with ease and joy and well-being. And so on your own for a little bit here, stay connected to the image and know that each metta phrase is a seed, a powerful seed that you're planting. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong in this body. And may I live with ease and joy and well-being. Stay connected to the image and the phrases. The mind wanders, just come back. Just begin again. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong. May I live with ease and joy and well-being. Keep softening into your body, relaxing the belly, the shoulders, the chest. And take your time. Each phrase is the seed. Each phrase is a gift. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong in this body. May I live with ease and joy and well-being. Saying your name before each phrase can be helpful. Just remembering its friendliness, that is all. Kindness toward ourselves. And keeping the phrases going as best you can. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong in this body. May I live with ease and joy and well-being. And keep softening the body, softening the belly and the heart. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong in this body. May I live with ease and joy and well-being. Seeing yourself through the eyes of the Great Mother. May my heart be happy and peaceful. May my heart be safe and protected. May my heart be healthy and strong. And may my heart live with ease and joy and well-being. And for the last few moments of our sitting, let's extend this metta, imagining that there's the sun sitting right in your heart center and shining every direction. And as this metta heart, the sun shines out, inviting all of your family and friends as we send metta to them. May our families be happy and peaceful. May our communities be safe and protected. You can imagine that this great metta golden sunlight is just pouring out and everybody is there. This light, your friends and family and communities and loved ones, people in your city, the people on the Sangha tonight. May we all be healthy and strong in our bodies. And may we all live with ease and joy and well-being. And so you can imagine that this light is going out farther and farther, encompassing your entire city and your state, and the whole of this country, North America, and then South America, and Canada, and Europe, and Africa, all over the world. May all beings be happy and peaceful. You can imagine this metta is going out farther and farther into the earth, into the sky, into the ocean. We send our love. May all beings everywhere be safe and protected. May all beings everywhere be healthy and strong. And may all of creation live with ease and joy and well-being. And we'll bring our practice to a close by bringing our hands to the prayer position at the heart and just bowing to yourself, your practice, your good heart. Om Mani Padme Hum. We offer the merit of our practice to the liberation of all beings. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes again. Thank you, everyone. That was very beautiful. As we work with the metta, the practice grows stronger and stronger. And so over time, you'll start to feel that there's a sense of momentum, sense of momentum. So just take a moment here if you need to adjust your posture, But I really want to thank you all for practicing. When we practice together, even online, we create a resonance, right? We are. Yes, Drew is a good one. Yes, anytime you're doing metta, you'll feel a shift in your consciousness. You literally go up to a different octave, right? Our heart energy, this love frequency, is the energy of the 5D. It is the energy of the higher consciousness. It is the energy of connection, right? That's when we are feel the most light, the most joy, the most love. So reminding yourself that if you want to shift at any time, to sit and work with a practice can be very transformative. So, oh yes, together as one, we are loving ourselves. I look how you all are on the chat tonight. Every night's a little bit different. But I'm glad that we get to practice because we are reminding ourselves, and we are the ecosystem, right? We are the mandala, as they say in Vajrayana Buddhism, right? And so when we are activating our hearts, we're doing it on behalf of all beings. And right now, I know that the most important thing that we could be doing is opening our hearts and helping the collective. It's a chain reaction. Don't underestimate that. When you are really in your heart and you're moving in the world, how you affect every other being around you, even the animals around you, even the ants on the kitchen counter, right? We have this sense of this non-harming, benevolence. There is nothing like being truly dropped in the metta heart field, and it grows over time. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. The theme of the talk tonight is about this idea that is in all of the Buddhist teachings. I mean, it's at the core of a lot of our practice, and it's in the Eightfold Path. It's a step on the Eightfold Path, and it's in the six paramitas teaching, which mean the perfections, right? The things that we cultivate. And it is about what we call wise effort, which is joyful effort. I love one translation. It's like we start doing our practices knowing that they're not for ourselves alone, but they're for all beings. We start to want to transform ourselves, not just for ourselves, but so that we can be that lighthouse, in the ocean for all the ships lost at sea. We become that beacon. And that is such a beautiful motivator, everyone. Can you begin to see that as an aspiration? And you might feel like, well, I'm far away from that, or I don't know if I could ever be of benefit to others, but you can. Every time you come back into your heart and you practice and you're uprooting greed and hatred and delusion, and you're holding that frequency of compassion, you are that lighthouse. You are that for the people that live with you, for the people that work with you, for the people that live next door to you. You become that refuge. And what a beautiful, and for me right now, nothing inspires me more than to be that lighthouse, than to be that lamp, right? For all of those wandering and getting lost right now is a tremendous time. It's the word I'm using that I keep getting in my own messages from my guides is this bifurcation point, which is this separating line, right? And we can call that the three-dimensional samsaric split. And then there's this five-dimensional higher consciousness, right? And it's so confusing for people right now because there's so much of the energy in the collective is that of the trickster, right? What seems like the right path is the opposite. It's like it reminds me of the story, Dr. Seuss, and he's in the story, I forget, is it the Lorax, or he's talking about the axe? And all of the trees think, oh, the axe is one of us because it has a wood handle. But it's like, no, this is the axe. And the axe cuts all the trees down, right? And so there's this tremendous amount of confusion right now. And so for me, I feel more and more that it's so essential that I make effort in my spiritual development. Why? So that I can be a clear light for all of those who are getting lost in this ocean of delusion, right? And then when we're lost in the ocean, we begin to live and think in very unskillful ways that leads to a lot of insanity, right? And I keep feeling like I'm seeing things on the news. I'm like, no, no, don't go down that road. Stop, stop. No. And it breaks my heart. It really breaks my heart a lot to see people getting confused and believing in and false prophets, basically, and then following this path. And so I think, well, there's nothing I can do other than become that lighthouse. That I can do, right? Because the light of love is 10,000 times more powerful than delusion. Can I get an amen on that, church? The light of love. Exactly. Hallelujah. I need to get ring your bell on that one, Bava, for the spirits, right? The light of love is 10,000 times more powerful than this force. And I feel like I wake up, I have these visions of people being led out on this path of utter destruction in their confused mind. And I think, oh my God, it's like I keep again seeing this ocean and ships crashing because there's no light out there and they don't know how to get into the port safely, right? They don't know how to get home safely. And so I encourage you all to think about your life and your heart and what it could mean when your heart is fully activated and you become that lighthouse for others. And many of you are that lamp. But in order to be that lamp consistently and to shine with that brightness, right, that illuminates the ocean, right? If you go out into the middle of the ocean, it's dark on a cloudy night. I always have that, when you're on long flights and you're flying for a long time over the ocean, it's like, wow, it's deep and it's vast and it's dark out there, right? And so one of the most important things that we can do is shine our light. Right? We're like the stars shining. We sort of emanate Morse code, like follow this. No, don't go down that road. Only thing down there is total destruction. And I know some people do have to go down, but I also feel like now is a time for us to remember this teaching on wise effort. So as I talk about this teaching a little bit, I wanted just to mention a couple things about it. So when we talk about making effort in our spiritual path, we're really talking about development. We're talking about developing, and I want you to imagine, let's talk about this as like a garden, right? And I know I've told this story a few times because it was so funny. So I lived a lot of years in East Oakland in California. And when I lived in Oakland, I lived all over the Bay Area, but I'm new to Georgia, right? I've only been here a year or so, but I lived years in Oakland. And so I remember at one point I rented this beautiful house with a group of my friends, and we were sort of creating a community house, and we had this backyard that was really beautiful, but it needed a lot of cultivation. It had potential, right? It was a fixer-upper. And we're fixer-uppers, everybody. Don't you agree on that, right? We're mending all the cracks in the walls. We're smoothing out the rough edges. We're decorating. We're clearing out all the clutter. We are fixer-uppers, right? And and so this backyard, it had a lot of promise. And I was thinking, because I was going to have groups there and friends there and lead a little of, meditation events. And Oakland, the weather's so beautiful almost year round. We can be indoor, outdoor. And so I started to go about transforming that backyard. And that backyard had the most compact clay soil. It was like a rock. And so I would try to hit into it, and it would be just, it wasn't good. So I'd bring all my friends out there and be like, well, what do you think? Let's look at it. They'd be like, yeah, this is bad. You're gonna have to take all these rocks out, it's rocky and heavy clay. And I wouldn't always listen to them. I would dig out a little part and I'd put like a little soil from Home Depot. And then I kept putting these beautiful plants into it. But guess what would happen to these beautiful plants, everybody? When you put a beautiful seed into dry, packed soil, there was no nutrients in it. And so within a few weeks, I would sit and slowly watch my beautiful plant die off. And I think, oh no, the soil really isn't, right? It's like, I have to do something. So then I set about this whole process of amending the soil, turning it over. I cannot tell you how many days I spent with my shovel and digging in and turning over and adding all these amendments and compost and I just kept working with it and cleaning the backyard and taking the rocks out. And if you would have done one of those like slow motion cameras, nowadays everyone does these YouTube videos speed up. They go 1 year in 5 minutes, right? If you would have saw all the things that I did, it would have been quite a good video just to watch it before and after. But I realized that I had to effort so that the seeds that I put in that soil would not die, but they would thrive. There was a certain amount of work and effort that I had put into that. And so after about a year, everything started to grow there. And I started to feel like, we're sitting in our garden, and people used to feel so safe there. And that it became like a little lighthouse for others, but I had to put that effort in. Now, I use this as an analogy for our hearts, everyone. Our hearts, for a lot of us, when I talk to people, our hearts are dry, closed, clay, brittle, like that ground that I was, trying to plant it into, that I kept trying to put seeds into. And when you try to put the seed of awakening into a tight, compact soil, every seed it can't survive, it can't grow, it can't be nourished in that. So the work that we do with Metta is really it's the compost of your spiritual heart. It's the compost that you need to add in. We're adding in the nutrients, we're adding in the vitamins, we're adding in all of we're breaking up the hard soil, right? Every time we put a seed in the ground of the Metta, we soften the body, we soften the mind. And this is really an incredibly liberatory practice. I think I had been doing this practice since I was very young, but there was some years where I stepped away. But since starting this class, I was so inspired to take up the practice again. Because first of all, my heart was broken, right? I felt brokenhearted in November of 2024. I don't really have to, there was a lot of things going on that month, accidents, elections, everything was happening, but felt like my heart was falling out. And so a lot of us, we arrive like that. Our hearts are broken by life, broken by trauma, broken by the living in a state of constant change. Samsara itself, it's brutal, this human life. It's beautiful and magical and utterly destructive. It's Kali Ma, right? And just savage. And then there's this tremendous light, and it's beautiful and connected. And in order to hold that, right, to hold this, the complexity of what is happening on our planet without going insane, we need to have our hearts, open, and to be tilling the compost in the heart. So practice is necessary, right? The heart doesn't just liberate on its own. You can't pray for that to happen. You could pray for a practice to help it open, but you yourself have to be willing to make effort right now, right? We have to be willing to make tremendous effort on our own spiritual path in this time, right? We have to be willing to put in time on meditation every day, working the till of our heart and mind, right? Turning the soil over and over and reminding ourselves, I'm not just doing this for myself, but I'm doing this so I can be that lighthouse in the ocean. So my heart can shine so bright that 1,000 ships, 10,000 ships can safely find their way home into safe passage. And this is how I think about effort, right? When I make effort, I've been thinking a lot about next year as I've been planning. And there's this very, very deep call for my heart to go into deep practice again. I realized with all this destruction going on, I think, what is the most important thing I could be doing? It was like, become that light, transform into that. And I know a lot of people are feeling the call. I really think today, from now on, today, tomorrow, the next day, make a commitment that every day you'll put effort into your spiritual development, right? That to booster yourself with metta, mindfulness, body-based awareness, to step out of the delusion. The amplification is so loud right now, right? We are truly in the time of the great turning. I had so many visions of this years ago and more every day. It's like we are being, reborn. This is going to be a rebirth, but everything associated with greed and patriarchy and suppression uh, of the heart energy, it's really suppression of the great mother, right? The feminine is being kind of dismantled, but that can only happen for so long, everybody, right? That's a cycle. That's very, things will turn, but it really is, they're on this gasp of breath of this old way. And then, again, as systems are about to collapse, they go into chaos. Systems theory always shows that right before a great collapse, utter chaos, will ensue. And so as we're stepping into this, it's even more important that you rest in your good heart. And when you're resting in your beautiful heart, guess what? We are connected to the great heart, right? We're connected to the mother heart because we're in the frequency of that, right? We're being carried on the winds of that. And that's so comforting to me, I feel, whenever I'm doing my practices and I'm resting at the great mother. I feel like I'm with 10 million others and we're just rocking together in that great heart energy. But it takes practice. Every day, try to carve out some time to make what is called wise effort. This is part of the Eightfold Path on the Buddhist training. This is our prescription of liberation. Every day we make effort into letting go of greed, hatred, and delusion. And see, in my garden in Oakland, it wasn't just that I had to till the soil. I also had to pick up all the trash, get all the stones out. There was a lot going on. There was this old kind of creek bed behind where someone had thrown a bunch of stuff. And so I was not only taking out all of the trash and the garbage, but at the same time transforming, and then being able to look and go, okay, now we want to plant jasmine here, and we're going to plant this here, and we're going to, what a beautiful, what a beautiful process. But we have to be willing to put in effort. This is our holy effort, everybody. And you want the effort to not be too tight. That's what happens to a lot of people is they over effort. So they leave a retreat and they go, I'm going to meditate 5 hours a day. It's kind of like somebody who hasn't been to the gym in a long time, and then they go to the gym and then they do a 5 hour workout and then they can't move for a month. It's like that is over effort. What we want is balanced effort, right? Where every day we start carving out a time for our own heart practices, our own spiritual development, and we dedicate that. This is my heart. This is my time for my mindfulness so I can be that light. I'll use this time to transform. And this is what it is. So wise effort is knowing the right amount. Somebody just might need 30 minutes a day. That's all they can do. Others might do more, right? Somebody might sit an hour in the morning and an hour at night. Going on retreats right now, everybody, is very, very valuable. I know a lot of people might feel like holding back resources and not going on a retreat, but a retreat is the most powerful thing that you can do because it ignites us, right? It ignites our spiritual lamp. And that is the best thing that you could be using your time doing right now, is practicing. Right now, that tsunami is so powerful, right? And it's about to turn up another, right? It has to get to a pitch where it goes so it's like a sound barrier that it has to break. Like the insanity goes, "Ah," and then it hits a threshold, and compassion kicks in and goes, wait a minute here. And that real reset begins to happen. But the best thing that you could be doing, I believe, right now, and I believe that I'm going to do, is really taking that time to practice so that we can awaken our hearts and minds for the benefits of others. Because now I think about that garden in Oakland, and I think, oh, it was so sweet. It was so small. But now I want the garden to be like the universe. And can I be that powerful to plant a million seeds, and to remove a million stones? And it's a vision. It's a direction, right? That we set our compass, right, in that direction. And I love to hold those kind of visions in my heart. They give me inspiration. So I want to just open it up a little bit. I would love to hear some beautiful words from our own Baba Diva, who has so much good heart wisdom all the time. Maybe you'd like to share a few nuggets with us.
Hi. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
Yes, it's such a beautiful share. I was just thinking about it after our last retreat. It was so beautiful in California, and I was really in this kind of beforehand doing a lot of rituals, but from a place of busyness versus from a place of really just settling into my heart. It's been such a beautiful way of just, for me, my revolution right now is just resting more, taking naps and doing short prayers and walks. So I haven't felt called for long sits right now. And I'm making that okay because I know in my body it's feeling really, really good and supportive just to be out in the sun and just taking intentional walks in prayer. That's very different than how I typically do rituals, but I'm just trusting, like you said before. So it's much more of an ease right now and the gentleness with my body, even with the retreat was a great way to reset with food. So I'm a coffee queen just to be in the space of just doing more teas and really seeing how my energy feels. So it's just a different way of just how do I stay balanced right now? So it's a blend of food and more active in the world with sunlight and walking, which has been beautiful for me. So it really resonated when you're talking about normally I like longer sits, with me in like 6 hours or something like that. Do these at temple, we can go there. But now I just feel like I want to move a little bit more body movement. So it's a different way of resetting for me right now.
Oh, well, thank you. And I think that leads into it. Wise effort is balanced effort, Bava, right? It's almost like you were on one extreme for a while, that more of that high energy hours, the ritual, the busyness, the energy of that. But then now it's like the counterbalance. I really think
Hmm.
everybody that wise effort is like this pendulum. And when we swing too much and too much effort, right, we come back to ease so that we're sort of like more in the middle again. And I love that for you and the sunshine. And thank you, Baba. Yes, thank you so much. And if anyone else has anything that they would love to share about how you're balancing your effort, but wise effort is there's this famous part of the Pali Canon where the Buddha was talking about the middle way between extremes. So when we put too much effort in, we get kind of a little bit crazy, everybody. And we can actually, if we over effort, and I used to see this when I used to work with people on long meditation retreats, they would start attacking the meditation room with like a ferocity, like they were going into battle. And I would say, if you continue like that, you're not only going to burn out, but you're going to lose your faith, right? Because you're practicing to get something versus to settle back and just be, right? So we don't want to make over effort. Over effort comes with a grass. And then we don't want to under effort. This is the other thing, right? Where every day we go, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll practice, right? We never do any spiritual practice because we just under effort. We don't realize the preciousness of this human birth, right? Now is our time. I've been studying, I want to mention here how much I've been studying as somebody who studies Tibetan Buddhism. So much of the reflections of these great Tibetan masters, that some attained rainbow body, awakened great bodhisattvas, years in retreats and caves and taught, mind training and just really profound, deeply powerful practices. The core the core reflection that they asked the students to reflect on every day was the preciousness of a human birth. And apparently, you cannot get awakened in the high states because it's too pleasant, and the lower states are too painful, right? But right in the middle between this high and low is the human realm. And they say, according to the Buddha says every Buddha came to awaken in the human realm, in the human body, because it's perfect for practice. It's not too much suffering. Come on, everybody, there's a lot of suffering, but our lives aren't just always suffering, right? For some, though, there's long patches. When I think about the children right now in Gaza, I just have been so upset by what has been happening with the bombings and Ukraine and all of this stuff happening in parts of the world that just feels so, it just creates that hell. But I do know it's temporary. It will change. It will not stay like that. But the preciousness of our human life, the knowing that you have all the faculties, you have the gift of time, use your time wisely. That is what I read into that sutta, is that we have this precious human birth, and guess what? We can awaken our hearts in this very life. And what a joy that is. Like, we can make headway in this life, and we don't know how long we'll be here. We all pretend that we'll have a heart medicine class next Tuesday. I go along with it every Tuesday, right? All right, we'll see you next Tuesday. But we don't really know what will be here with any of us. And so, not to be scared of that reflection, but to use the precious human birth. Like, there is an incredible opportunity to develop and to awaken your heart, to go deep in your practice right now. And some of us are recalibrating from over efforting to more ease. And some of us, maybe we've had a lot of ease. Maybe it's time to just amplify it a little bit more. Find that calibration. If it's too tight, it's not good. If it's too loose, it's not good, right? If you have a guitar, and for all of you who are musicians, if your guitars are too tight, you can't play the strings. And if they're too loose, you can't play them. And so there's this balancing of our instrument. And so there's a wisdom in that. So wise effort. Unfortunately, we can't just lay down and go, please, God, awaken me. There is a kind of opening. If that was the case, we'd all be there already. God knows we've all prayed a million prayers. I know I have. But there is something that says, yes, we'll show you the door and we'll show you the road, but you have to get up and you have to walk. It reminds me of that parable about Jesus, when it was the man who was laying, right? For years and years, he was laying in the pools of the healing water. And like Jesus was like, okay, now go in. It's like he couldn't, it was like, you effort, it's like we have to kind of make that piece where we go, okay, I will awaken. I'll stand up and I'll walk this path. And then we do it with tremendous heart energy. Let the heart be your guide. Yes, I sort of mess up my Bible suttas, everybody. I'm sorry about that. I'm much more steeped in Buddhism. Right? Lately, I've been thinking of all of these biblical passages. So the stories are, a rough outline of what happened there. But all stories are, right? The Buddha's doctrine, all of them. Thus we have heard it went this way. But I hope that this was a helpful talk to you all and for you all in this moment. And we're here practicing. Next week, I'll be at Big Bear if anybody would like to join in person or online with Henry Shukman and myself and Nina Rao. I'll even be doing Metta from Big Bear. So you'll see in the background, we'll be doing our heart class. But what's so beautiful is all week will be heart teachings. And if you all don't know Henry Shukman, he is such a beautiful teacher and a dear friend. And he has written this beautiful book about love and the Zen path. And I encourage you, if you would like to come on, there's loads of scholarships. If anyone felt like coming still in person, they have so much scholarships. If you want to actually be there, you can. Or you could just join us online and you'll see Henry, myself. You can chat with us every evening. And yeah, so I just appreciate you all for coming, and all of you who are supporting us with your generosity. Thank you. That goes for Bava and my assistant to edit the videos. And yeah, just thank you for all your love and support. The generosity is so appreciated. I want to make every teaching I ever do available to all beings. So thank you for that, for supporting Bava and myself. And as we end here, why don't we take off our mute button and say bye to each other. I love that when we do that.
Thank you, Spring.
Oh, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Oh,
Good
Manny.
night.